and welcome back to Arcadia Fallen. How are you doing? I'm doing all right. I mean, maybe I'm doing all right. I don't know that our team, I don't know that Team Double D, I don't know that Team Double D's doing all that great after the events of the previous part. Things have gone as basically every British person I know would say, pear-shaped. They literally all say it. They say it all the time, pear-shaped. It's like the thing. But God, I mean, I knew at some point things were gonna go real bad, and I knew that Galdner was likely going to have ties within the Empire, and that we were probably gonna end up double-crossed at some point. It just happened to happen last episode. I'm real angry about the library too. I'm really hoping that maybe that's salvaged somehow, but they did very specifically say, hey, that thing got burned. So I'm not super stoked about that. But I have no idea what happens from here. I just know that Elizabeth, she poofed us out, and we're in the forest. We're just kind of hanging in the forest now, so we'll just have to see what happens. You run and run until you can't run anymore. Ancient tree crowns stretch high above you, shrouding everything in darkness as Mime leads you forward. Everyone's gone. Lost in the chaos of your escape, the two of you now stumble through the forest alone. I don't even have Anne with me? Oh, man. You trip and fall to your knees, and Mime crouches down in front of you, her big eyes wide with concern.
Are you okay?
Dude, it's pretty rough right now, not gonna lie. Oh, your choice will influence your personality going forward. Vengeance or despair? Jeez. These are pretty extreme options. Yeah, I'd be pretty... Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I was real angry. Like, how do I want to role play this? It's just kind of like, well, you know, I gotta go vengeance. It's just what I feel. Your resolve solidifies and your confidence swells into a burning rage of vengeance, filling your limbs with molten fire. Oh, we have had it.
That guy.
He will pay for this. Ronan will pay for what he's done. Mime is silent, watching you apprehensively. Perhaps we should take a moment to calm down, to think. I don't recognize this part of the forest. We must have been running for a while. So I guess that means we're lost. Not that we were really going anywhere, so I guess technically we aren't lost. That's honestly not that good either. Right. We should probably try to find out where we are, though I'm not really sure how. There's a rustle in the leaves and you both freeze, shifting closer to each other. Who was that? A shape emerges from the forest, an ominous feeling washing over you, suffocating you. Whoa! Hello! That is a deer skull, adorned with a very pretty flower crown. You have felt powerful magic before, but the crushing presence of the shadow before you is unlike anything from this realm. Almost like it isn't mortal magic at all. So is this the Deer King? Are we finally gonna get the Mime lore? The King of the Forest! Mime breathes and the being steps closer and your breath catches. He is a tall being, much taller than any human you know. Dark, empty eye sockets of a deer's skull stare back at you and you shiver, terror running through your body.
You.
Well, this is just great, as if this day could get any worse. But the being doesn't advance or even move, just stares at you silently.
I wonder.
I don't think he means to hurt us. The dear god turns and motions for you to follow him down the path.
Huh?
It looks like he wants us to follow?
I'm ready.
Very well. Let's see where this will take us. Hopefully somewhere safe and with maybe less vengeance? You follow him silently, Mime sticking closely to your side. The sun goes down and the woods turn dark as you follow the god through the realm. In here, the trees grow taller and thicker, stretching above you into a suffocating dome, and then tiny lights begin to peek out from within the leaves and branches. They glow like lanterns, illuminating the path ahead.
Huh?
What's that over there? Mime looks shed into wonder as the deer comes to a halt in front of a clearing. Looking out, you see a small building nestled among the trees. Oh! An inn! The deer god turns to Mime and then leans down, pressing his skull against her Oh! You move to stop him, but he doesn't hurt her, just stands. Then he rises again and walks off into the trees.
Are you okay?
Are you okay, Mime?
Huh?
I'm fine. He just wished us a good journey.
I wonder.
It's strange. I have this feeling like he's someone familiar to me. Like a father? Okay, so is that like it? Is that the lore behind Mime now? Is that she's just the deer god's daughter? That's just crazy thoughts. It's all that adrenaline speaking. But here should be a good place where you can be safe. That's what he said, at least. Let's go inside. You walk inside the inn and are hit by a warm air with the scent of hearty foods and mulled wine. Patrons are milling about in the at the many tables, laughing boisterously and talking excitedly, like a party of old friends catching up after a long year.
Good evening.
I kind of was thinking you would probably be here because this is the Sparrow Inn. So is this where I get raked over the coals for killing your bird? Is this where I get killed for killing it? Is this where I get my just desserts for killing your pop-up ad in the forest? Good evening, dear alchemist.
So this is where your tale took you. How interesting.
I could continue down the vengeful path.
What are you doing here? And where is here exactly?
Taverns and inns are the sanctuaries of bards, not to mention our biggest sources of income and new story material.
Have I got a story for you, my guy? Let me tell you all about this alchemist and this spirit. Dude, this story's got some ups and downs. There's like a hot girl-on-girl kiss, like right at the end too. Super hot.
I was just here to check in with another legend of mine.
Uh-huh.
It seems her tale has finally come to a close, so I wanted to get all the final details.
I'm sorry, but I'm not following. What is this place?
It is only natural to be a bit confused when entering the realm of the gods.
What am I doing in the realm of the gods?
Welcome to the
Merry Sparrow's Inn. Yep.
The final transit stop for heroes' souls.
Oh, we're
before
dead.
they pass on to the afterlife.
Okay.
Wait, these people are ghosts?
Indeed. Why so surprised? You're a spirit yourself. Are you not?
Is this where it's going to be revealed where it's just like, look, at the start of this story, you literally got stabbed in the chest and died. Once you unbind, it's kind of over. But hey, you did some good deeds, and the people here think that you're kind of cool. They really liked your jokey joke attitude. They thought that kiss with Anne was super hot. So you're definitely going to be getting some rewards in the afterlife. Things are going to be pretty good for you.
Ghosts and spirits are not the same. Ghosts can be super vengeful and haunt you for the rest of your life. Also, they are creepy.
I think you're being a little bit racist right now, Mime. And I think that we have been playing a game that has been very tolerant of other worldviews and other people. I think you need to dial it back a little bit, Missy.
I can assure you none of these ghosts are out to get revenge on anyone. Only the souls of those who have lived a life of adventure can enter this place.
So we are dead.
The kind that has grand tales of heroism to leave behind.
I moved some circles and made some demons disappear. It was pretty cool.
I can introduce you to some
I kissed a really cute mage girl. It was awesome. Yeah, that's kind of...
Did we die? I mean, you would be the one to know, wouldn't you? You're the one with personal experience.
I can dispel that misunderstanding.
Okay, so why am I here?
You are not dead. While this is a place to celebrate the end of a long journey, the Sparrow does like to open his doors on special occasions.
Yeah? Yeah, especially to people who have never killed birds. I want to remind everybody, it wasn't me that actually killed the bird.
What does that mean?
The heroes in this place have seen many things. Tragedy, triumph. They carry with them a well of knowledge. Sometimes, when a traveler like yourself stumbles, the wise words of someone who's been there before will put you back on the right path.
Mm-hmm.
If you wish, you may go see what knowledge they offer.
Okay.
Wait. So, if these people are ghosts, what does that make us?
Exactly.
You're not dead, if that's what you're concerned about.
That's a relief.
The inn is a safe haven for heroes. Its doors are always open to heroes in need of a bit of guidance. And you, my friend,
Yeah.
look like a lost soul if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, things have gone real bad recently, and maybe a little guidance would be just the ticket.
Who is the Sparrow?
Hopefully it's not that bird that Victoria, not Polly, killed.
That would be the innkeeper. He is a patron for all heroes' tales, one of the three gods of mortal stories.
Gods of storytelling? I've never heard about that before.
I played Umineko, and I think that the end of that got really stupid and nonsensical, and kind of like they dealt with like gods of storytelling and stuff like that.
Few know about them these days, but the Empire's clutches can never reach them in here. The Sparrow is for the hero's tale. Those stories that live on forever. The Raven for the quiet tales. Those that will fade away with those who experience them. And finally, the Nightingale, who watch over the storytellers, the bards, the artists, the mother sitting on the edge of her child's bed. Together, they watch over the death and legacy of all mortals in this realm.
So, how about that king of the forest? He seems pretty rad. He's this big old skull kind of floating through the forest here, and he gave my friend here an Eskimo kiss.
We met someone strange who led us here. A man with a deer skull for a head. Do you know about him?
The king of the forest escorted you here himself? That is quite the honor.
Cool. We'll not elaborate on that further, I suppose.
What did you mean when you said hero?
Yeah, because I'm kind of a dork.
Why don't you ask one yourself? Come, I'll make the introductions.
Rune takes you through the crowded tavern, winding through patrons speaking animatedly until he pauses in front of one who's distinctly quiet. Hello, you look like, JRPG guy. The man sitting by himself, sipping from his drink, smiling lazily at the merriment going on around him.
Good evening, Rixus.
Oh, Rune? Back for more wild tales, are you?
Something like that.
Rune nudges you forward.
The alchemist here was just passing through and could use a bit of wisdom to guide her forward.
Hello, person who I've never met, who is, from what I may understand, largely unfamiliar with my situation and has played no role in the story whatsoever. Please, regale me.
Do you mind sharing a little?
The man laughs heartily, placing down his cup.
I think...
Wisdom? I think you've got the wrong guy for that, but sure. I can tell this kid a story.
I'm Rixus.
Happy to be of service, kid. Happy to meet you. Random JRPG guy.
What do you mean?
Story? What do you mean by that? A curious one, huh?
Let me tell you.
You're here because your world just kicked you in the face, right? Yep, things are going real bad. I've been there. Oh, believe me, I have. But I managed to pick myself up from the dirt.
But you see...
I never wanted to be a hero. I was living a quiet life as a merchant, trading wares near the port in Verstad when I was falsely accused of committing fraud. The woman who framed me was another merchant who didn't much care for the competition from some nobody mage spawn. She had connections to the prominent blue blood official who easily swallowed the idea of my crime. I never stood a chance. I lost everything. Had to leave my home, my business, my family.
Oh.
How horrible.
I think...
It was a hopeless situation indeed. I was one commoner against a system that had deemed me a villain. More sane people would have cut their losses and moved on, but I couldn't do that. I like the revenge angle, but I don't think that it's where I should go. I don't think I'm angry revenge. I think I'm angry in the moment, and I'm trying to keep it under control. The vengeance is there, but I'm just maybe there's another way. Maybe I can stay calmer. Maybe cooler heads will prevail. You found someone who could help? A wise man would perhaps have sought help, but that's just not my style. I'm much more scheming in nature.
Let me tell you.
I took all my anger and pain and let it drive me forward. I spent a year planning my revenge, scheming, gathering intelligence, and training for the job I had to carry out. I entered the noble official's estate and relieved him of some accounting books he wasn't too keen on sharing. I dumped them at the doorstep of a rival noble and then just sat back and watched as the vultures ripped him to shreds. I like this guy! As for the merchant, it turned out I hadn't been the first competitor she'd been holding down with deceit and threats. Once she lost her connection to the elite, the other merchants turned against her. Turns out the allies you make by blackmail are not very loyal in the end. That seems like a fitting end for the con man to be conned.
Indeed.
It felt great. Not gonna lie about that. But once it was done, I noticed something even greater.
But you see.
I think the thirst for revenge gave me a boost to pick myself up. But once I succeeded, it wasn't pain that kept me going. It was knowing I'd done something to prevent someone else from ending up in the place I did.
It's a simple kind of pleasure, knowing you've made a change to the world.
Things might seem dark now, but I swear, it's worth it in the end. Man, I want to believe this so bad, but it's just like my brain right now. This is like the best and worst time for me to be playing this specific game. Rune steps up to squeeze your shoulder. Thank you for the story, Rixios.
For the story, Rixus.
Anytime, buddy. He laughs, picking up his drink again, holding it up for you in a toast. Good luck, kid. I'll be looking forward to hearing your story once you return to this place. You leave Rixios behind, Rune smiling to himself as you head toward another corner of the inn. I keep wanting to call him Rixios because of Rixia from the Trails series, whose name is spelled R-I-X-I-A and is, I believe, of Chinese descent. I believe that's what they're going for with that name. It's just like the first thing my brain says. So when I said Rixios there, I was like, yeah, it makes sense that it came out like that.
So this place is like a club for heroes?
And we're in it.
Indeed.
Why would he want to share his story with us, though? What's the point?
To reminisce. Mostly. These people are a nostalgic bunch, but also to inspire. Come, there's someone else I'd like for you to meet.
Rune walks up to a tall guy in finely polished armor.
Darius, do you have a moment?
Hello, Darius. Look at you. You are a suave-looking fella, digging the horns. Got a look about you. He turns and your eyes widen. Reptile eyes stare back. You've never seen anything quite like it before. Dragon.
You're quite perceptive.
Most visitors don't recognize my kind anymore.
Darius Dunka. At your service.
Dunka? Dunka? That's the last name you went with? Dunka? All right, man. I'll let you have it. But it's going to be very hard for me to take you very seriously as a dragon with the last name Dunka. I'm sorry. If people like your butt, do they say you got a badunkadunk? I'm just saying, dude. Like, look, it's real easy. You're making it way too easy for me. So what are you doing here, Dunksy?
What?
What's a dragon doing here? So far, I've only seen humans in this place. Some exceptions were made on my behalf. The Sparrow is a great fan of tales of friends facing down obstacles together, and he didn't want to split me from mine. The dragon motions with his hand to a table behind you where 5 people are sharing a laugh over cups of mead. They're a colorful bunch, but all distinctly human.
Really?
Those are your friends? But I thought humans and dragons were not very friendly. I mean...
That is true.
There was a great war, yes. The dragons did not like the emergent human race pressing at their borders, and so sought to end it. I disagreed with my people's decision and changed side to aid the humans.
Huh?
What happened?
It all began when...
I had learned the location of one of the great dragon generals. a cruel, ruthless killer who had no intention of seeing the war come to an end. I wanted to gather a team to take him out, but not many humans were keen to trust a dragon deserter. And so I ended up with these 5.
Things didn't go as planned.
Through our travels, we formed bonds, made memories, and shaped the world for the better. But when we finally arrived to face down the general, we weren't ready.
No.
He was too strong, effortlessly laying waste to our plans. He was toying with us, and when we were defeated and prone before him, he made us an offer. We could go if we left one behind. How did you escape a situation like that?
Yeah, you see.
At the moment, it seemed like escape was impossible. So a choice had to be made.
No.
For me, it was an easy choice. I was the one who convinced them to join me. I had been the one taking the fall. I had to be the one taking the fall. But the dragon didn't want me. He picked someone else. Maddie.
Yeah, you see.
She was the smallest of us all, but she kept her head high as she stood before the general.
Then
I thought we had lost. And then she pulled a magic feather from within her cloak and summoned the spirit of a giant eagle to come to our aid. It was such an absurd and fantastical trick to pull, and somehow her defiance in the face of death, it inspired us. I and our fighter Mal jumped onto the eagle's back, and from the air we fought with renewed strength. Wolfgar, bless his soul, cast spells to heal our wounds, and Mirasef created a distraction to draw the dragon's fire with illusions of hundreds of ravens. Finally, Uriala used a spell to create a giant magical fist that punched the lights out of our enemy. We won. That sounds crazy! And here I thought my friends were special. Your companions sound absolutely crazy. They really are. And I wouldn't have them any other way. The day I learned to put my trust in my friends.
I learned to put trust in my friends.
Their ideas might have been unorthodox and downright mad, but they saved me. Saved us all.
Thank you for the story, Darius.
Anytime, Rune. The dragon bows his head and walks off toward the table with his friends. More laughter and cheerful conversations rise up from them.
This is all pretty crazy. So all the heroes just live here?
Eventually, the patrons of the inn move on to the afterlife. Some stay longer than others, but eventually, they all move on.
So it's basically just the good place.
Where do they go?
Who knows?
That's not my jurisdiction, as no one has ever lived to tell the tale.
I see you. I see you. I could hear that little chuckle.
How are you feeling?
I feel better now, somehow. This place. These people. It's very calming.
Huh. I'm glad you feel that way. The inn is a place of magic, but even magic can't fix everything. Humans are complicated.
Just like my motives.
Your souls are fragile, yet strong. I think, in time, you will come to terms with what has happened. As for here and now, I think there's someone here who wants to see you.
Uh-huh. The bard takes you through the rooms to a table in the corner where a familiar face sits, sipping on a cup of tea.
Child.
Yo! Oh, yeah, it makes sense.
Name did you end up
Ha! I have to. I have to imagine things maybe went kind of bad if you're here. Oh, you died, didn't you? You died, didn't you?
Elizabeth. Mostly walking, but with a mix of running for our lives, escaping a demon army.
You know, the usual.
By the 7. Even in this place.
She sighs in frustration.
Just tell me what happened.
We got separated from the others. And then the king of the forest led us to this place.
So, you are here to seek guidance. That's a relief.
Elizabeth, what are we gonna do? The demons are loose in town.
Yep, the juice is loose!
Everyone is... Is there really no way to put things right?
I'm not going to lie to you. Reinforcing the fractured seal was the easy solution.
Yeah, I don't know, like... You did say that this entire town is kind of built on top of a giant alchemy locket, though, so I think maybe there's something we can do about this?
Now that it is shattered, and the demons are out, the situation is most dire. Your locket still might be able to restore the demon's prison, but with no way to trap them again, I fear we don't have a lot of options.
This is all just too much. It just isn't fair.
No, it isn't. And I would never wish a burden like this on you.
Elizabeth smiles gently and reaches out to grab your hand, squeezing it.
You have already done so much. Gotten so far. You were always made for a life of adventure.
It's the red hair. It's the red hair. That's the symbol, man. That's the key to everything, really.
Despite the hardships, you chose to face this challenge with dignity for yourself.
And a lot of really quippy one-liners.
You accepted this burden without reservation. By overcoming challenges, you gained confidence in your own abilities. You gathered a group of extraordinary individuals, and together, you investigated this threat and came up with a plan to solve it. You settled into your role as their leader. Not an easy task, but you made them follow. And together, you faced down one challenge after another.
Team Double D, Team Double D, Team Double D.
You even fell in love.
Yeah.
I'm not so blind that I haven't noticed. Right now, the flames of vengeance are guiding your steps. And I understand it must be difficult to step back and assess the situation with a level head. However, I am so very proud of you. No matter how this turns out, your journey to this moment has been remarkable. What a brilliant alchemist you have become.
I'm not crying. You smile and dry your eyes, chuckling.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
I am. And that's okay.
Elizabeth shoots back without batting an eyelid, and the two of you share a laugh because there's just no hiding the tears anymore. You calm down and your chest feels lighter. There's still much to do.
There's gotta be a way to put all those demons back where they belong.
Going around and sealing the demons away one by one with a locket could take a lifetime.
Yeah, it'd be a real. I'd like if this were like, if this were an RPG, that would be like, oh hey, here's the collectible. All right, you're gonna spend this entire game tracking down 100 demons and sealing them in your locket.
The amount of damage they could cause in the meantime is unimaginable.
If only there were like a giant spirit locket we could use to seal them all away
Yeah.
at once.
A giant spirit locket. Where would we find one of those?
What?
Mime, you're a genius.
I am?
Liv did theorize that the seal itself worked much like a spirit locket. The lockets were modeled after that structure, after all.
So you're saying if we repair the seal, we might be able to use it to trap the demons again?
It's only a theory. We can't be certain.
Business as usual, then. Good to know.
It really isn't. What about Ronan, though? If we trap the demons again, will he...
So long as the demon is bound to Ronan, sealing it away will be impossible, I'm afraid.
So we gotta find out how to separate the demon from him, and I imagine that that's gonna be the same as separating Mime from me.
So there's no way for us to stop him?
There's always a way.
Elizabeth?
I didn't want to have to give this to you.
She hands you a piece of metal. You recognize it as the missing piece of the locket.
Listen, you know Anne's gonna be really angry when she finds out you hid part of the locket from her.
Anne didn't need to know about this. And she won't need to know in the future. This is the piece that made me the spirit alchemist on the battlefield. It allows you to use the locket to unlock souls, demon or human, killing them.
Oh! Yeah.
That's...
When I left the Empire, I removed the piece to disarm the locket. I didn't want it to be used to take any more lives. But
Oh, we got a real heavy decision coming up, don't we?
taking a life is a heavy burden in many ways.
Gonna ignore the fact that, again, I could still make like really crazy poisons and literally a potion that could kill a man.
You need spirit energy to fuel the spell. A lot of it.
Oh, I know what these bastards are gonna do. I need spirit energy.
If you want enough energy to repair the seal, you won't get a lot of chances. But if Ronan dies, then the demon inside him will be released, and it can be sealed away with its brethren.
But then Ronan will... Isn't it possible to just hit the demon instead? Then Ronan would be free of it, right?
If it was that easy to end a bond between a human and a spirit, don't you
Exactly.
think I used it on you when we first met, Mime?
Mime, think about what we're dealing with here. Oh, man.
Oh...
Your choice will influence your personality going forward. I accept that I will have to do whatever it takes to stop this. Ronan, the real Ronan, deserves a second chance. I mean, Ronan literally did nothing wrong. Ronan is not the person at fault here, it's the demon.
I agree. This cycle of violence has to end. There has to be another way.
There might be. You are the spirit alchemist now.
That title is very lofty.
You have surpassed anything I thought possible. I trust you will find the right answer, whatever it might be.
We should start by finding the others. Though, they might be anywhere by now.
I think you'll figure something out. You do, after all, not just share a bond with Mime anymore, but with all of your companions. Use it. Connect with them, and your skill will take you to them. I'm sure whatever needs to be done will become clear then.
Thank you for your help, Elizabeth.
It has been a pleasure, my child.
You'll be coming with us.
Ah, Mime. Mime.
Elizabeth stays here with me. She still has not told me all the details of her grand adventure, and I am very curious.
Wait, that means
Yeah.
Elizabeth, you're...
My journey has come to
I knew that's what we were going for, but...
That is the natural way of things. After all, you don't need this old teacher anymore.
You were a real one. You were a real one, Lizzie.
I might not need my teacher anymore, but I still need you, Elizabeth. You can't leave me. Not now.
Child, you mean the world to me. You are family, never just my apprentice. And even if this is the moment that we part ways, I will never be far from you. I will be here, listening to the nightingale sing of the amazing tales that I know you have ahead of you. And once your journey comes to an end again, I will be waiting. The memories of the people who helped us through life reside within you. That is a powerful thing. Use it.
You couldn't have gone out in a less dramatic fashion, could you?
Me? Dramatic? Perish the thought. Now go. You have a world to save.
Team Double D got this on lock! She smiles and turns to Mime.
Take good care of each other, my dear Mime.
The spirit sniffles loudly, drying her eyes.
Okay. I promise.
You pull out your locket and focus on the face of a dear friend of yours, reaching out with all your heart toward their spirit, and the inn and Elizabeth's smile. Towards their spirit, and the inn and Elizabeth's smile fade away. Oh wow, that was. Woo! That was heavy! Man, I don't know whether to keep going or to just call it there, man. That almost feels poetic, but at the same time, I just want to kind of keep going. Oh. Let's get the band back together, y'all. Let's do it. Let's see if we can get let's get everybody back together, then we'll call it. We are vengeful. Yeah, we have chosen vengeance, so I I hope we didn't screw anything up. All right. We're gonna go find Anne last, because I imagine that's gonna be really sweet. So let's go ahead. Head to the Hey man, you hanging out in the trash can? You find Caden in an alleyway near the town square. He stays near the shadows, sharp eyes watching the streets closely until he notices your presence. Polly, you made it out.
Well,
It takes more than a teensy demon invasion to get the best of me. Usually there have to be knives involved, so please don't jest about such things. I've been searching for you. Well, you looking in the trash can. You were looking in the trash can, I ain't gonna lie. You picked the right place to look, man. I have been searching for you and for some kind of solution to all this, but I found nothing.
I can't believe this.
I still can't believe Elizabeth. She sacrificed everything to give us an opening. We have to do something with this chance, but we have to face reality. We are alone. We need a miracle to fix this.
Happy to help.
I think if anyone were to create a miracle, it would be our odd group. Don't you agree? Caden looks startled, and he chuckles softly. You're right. The very fact that you've gotten so far with these people is a wonder in itself.
No.
You've led us well this far, my friend. I'm ready to see where this journey will take us. Well, I'm hoping for a celebration party. I could use some good food and drink after all this. Let's go save the tavern then, and then the rest of town. All right, who's over here? Victoria! Get your head in the game! We need you. The streets of Anemone Valley are in utter chaos. Fearful cries and roars of fury are all mixed together as frenzied villagers set their homes ablaze, attacking family and friends, desperately trying to flee.
Time to go.
This way. Follow me. Follow the street to get out of town now. Thank you.
Hi.
Victoria, how's it going?
Ugh.
You! What are you two doing here? I mean, I can go if you want. I mean,
Look,
this place is going to be crawling with demon hunters any minute now, and they are going to terminate anything remotely magical within the town, including you two.
Actually...
Don't worry, Victoria. I'm a master of keeping a low profile. They won't find me. Got cardboard boxes and everything. There's a crash as windows explode in a nearby burning building. Urgh. The town is already lost. The knights are rounding up the villagers and holding them until the hunters get here. Right now, it's impossible to tell who's possessed and who isn't, so once they arrive, it'll be a complete massacre. That really doesn't sound good at all.
Are you okay?
Everything that's happened, you went against Alethea, your mentor. How you holding up? Honestly, I feel nothing. Perhaps some part of me knew this was where it was heading. I'm not sure.
How about that?
I'll have time to process it once this is all over. If we survive, that is. Do you have a plan? Let's call it I have a concept of a plan. It involves stopping Ronan and resealing the demons and maybe saving the world along the way. I can't believe this. You call that a plan? I've seen drunken cow tippers with better plans than this. Does that mean you're in? Obviously. All right, Team Double D, all the way. Your armband's in the mail. You're clearly going to get yourself killed if I don't keep you in line.
Let's go.
Let's go find them. We still have to find the others. You find Michael in the wilted forest, sitting underneath the very same tree where you first found him. He looks tired, haggard even, staring emptily out into space as you approach him cautiously.
So...
You know, Michael, I'm starting to think you're luring me out here on purpose. Is there something about this tree I should know? Polly, what are you doing? I thought you and Mime, you shouldn't be here.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, it wasn't supposed to happen like this, but I have a plan, and I need your help.
Oh, really?
A plan, huh? After all this, you still wish to help. At this point, I'm not sure if you're just actively seeking out your own doom. The library. It's gone. 1,000 lifetimes of work, burned up in flames. It's like the world is insisting on burning everything good right before our eyes. How do you even fight such hate? Not by sitting on your ass out here, that's for sure.
Huh?
Victoria? Can't blame a guy for thinking about running away after almost everything, almost getting executed. Thank you, by the way, for not giving me that unfortunate haircut. I think that might be the nicest thing you've ever done for me. Michael, I'm sorry about the trial and the library. It wasn't supposed to end this way. But you deflecting with that god-awful humors of yours will get you nowhere. Polly has a plan. A terrible, absolutely ridiculous plan befitting this entire herd of dumbasses we've corralled. But it is a plan, and it's all we've got. So, what are you going to do? He grits his teeth, and you see for once his mask slipping. He's scared. You're my friend, Polly. Seeing you disappear in that crowd, I don't want to lose you. I think Anne might actually turn into a mad scientist if you were to disappear for good.
So?
Then help me with this. Together, we'll stand a greater chance.
Interesting.
You're not going to change your mind no matter what I say, are you?
Huh.
Then I'd better go and make sure you. Then I'd better go and make sure you don't get yourself killed. To think I'd have to be the reasonable one for once. The world really is ending. Let's gather our team of misfits and see this to the end, shall we? All right. Baby doll, your future wife has arrived. Your locket leads you to Quinn's shop and into the workshop where you've come to know so well. You find Anne rushing to pack up her notes, anxiously looking out the street every few seconds. She gasps when she sees you, snapping her bag shut. Polly, you made it! Thank Izeth. Come. We have to get out of here quickly before these lunatics find us. Did you see Quinn on the way here? They were already gone when I made it to the shop, so they probably already left. We should meet up and...
This is
Are you kidding? This is the most excitement I've had in town in years. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I see getting jostled in the crowd clearly knocked some screws loose. I don't know if you've noticed, but the entire town is swarming with demon-possessed townsfolk, and those who aren't possessed are probably out for our blood as well. Elizabeth, Sorry. You knew her much better, and yet I still can't stop shaking. After all that, why do you see the need to put yourself in harm's way again? This town clearly doesn't care about you. They don't want your help, so why? It's really hard for me to argue this. I have to admit that a part of this story that's been hard for me to grasp is fighting so hard for it when they so very clearly don't love us that much. Sure, there are some people that are totally awesome with us and happy that we will accept their payment of grunts for headache medications and stuff. But man, it seems like things are real bad for us mage types around here. But if I were to put myself in this character's position and what she may be thinking,
about that.
It's not like I'm not afraid as well. I'm terrified, honestly. But even so, I have to do this. The mage huffs and you blink, startled when she grabs the front of your shirt and pulls you down for a kiss. My girl! It's firm, resolute, and leaves you breathless when she pulls back with the faintest of blushes on her cheeks. As if I'd let you go on your own. I'm coming too. Someone with a brain has to keep you from doing something foolish.
So...
Since we're heading off to certain doom, does that mean I can get one more kiss for the road? You can get one after we return. And if you survive, that is. All right. So, it looks like going to the market is going to be the big thing we need to do. And I'm just going to call it there because I think that that is a fantastic note to end the part on. And we're coming up on an hour anyway. Man, I've been really good. I've been real good with the cliffhangers, haven't I? Sometimes you gotta really work for those cliffhangers in visual novel Let's Plays, but I think I've done pretty good at just stumbling into them on this one. But that is gonna do it for now. Obviously, this story is in high gear, and I have to imagine that the next time we are together, we are going to hit the climax in a big way. So, with all of that said, thank you so much for stopping by. I always appreciate your time, and I hope you have a nice rest of your whatever, wherever it is that you might be, and we'll catch you next time.